Hey, how's it going, everyone? TCG here again with a updated Ulforce deck profile. So let's go ahead and see how the deck will be with the new structured deck support that came out recently. Because I already have the deck already adjusted with the correct cards. Let's go ahead and get into it. Right, so the first one's gonna be Digimon. Obviously, Digimon is gonna be your draw engine. Basically, you get to draw one card every time that you swing with jamming. So that's why we're gonna run 4 of them. And we're only gonna run one of the Digimon that gives you 1000 when you have 8 or more cards in your hand. And one of the main strategies of this deck is to have 8 or more cards in your hand. The main reason you will see in a minute. So let's go ahead and get into the level 3s. For the level 3s, we do have 2 of the new starter deck Vmon. So this guy can pretty much shortcut into your level 6. If your opponent has a level 6, you will be able to warp Digivolve straight into your Ulforceveedramon by paying 4 memory, which is pretty good considering you have ways to gain memory without your turn ending. And if you have less than 8 cards in your hand, you can always draw one card to get you to that 8 cards that you need. Okay, now we have 3 of the Jamming Vmon. Okay, so this guy is also going to be one of the staples for your deck, considering he has jamming, and with the Digitamo underneath, you can pretty much draw every turn as long as you swing, and he's not gonna die anyway. We have 3 of the new Dracomon. This Dracomon is gonna be one of your main searchers. On play, you reveal the top 3 cards, and then you add any Digimon card with draw in its name, so it can search you a number of other Digimons quite easily. And for the last ones, we have 4 of the Vmon. So this Vmon is the BT2 one, where you pretty much draw one whenever your Ulforce becomes unsuspended. So that's going to be another draw engine for you as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the level 4s. For the level 4s, we have 2 of the starter deck Veedramon. So this guy's he's decent. He has an inheritable effect where you can bounce back any level 3 Digimon. So basically, when you swing, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you can get rid of any level 3 Digimon. So that kind of sets them back a little bit. I mean, it's not the best effect, but I mean, it does the job, right? And now we're gonna run 3 of the blockers. This is the Grizzlymon blocker. Now I don't have the other one, the level 1, the cost 1. But as soon as I get it, I'll definitely switch it over for the Coelamon, I believe, which will be a lot better than this one. But in the meantime, we'll just run this one. We also run 3 of the Gorillamon, basically for its cheap evolution cost. It only costs 1, so you can pretty much turbo into your level 5 quite easily. Now we have 3 of the Cordramon, the starter deck Cordramon. So this Cordramon is actually another draw engine where you just play it directly by paying 6 memory and you draw 2 cards. So it also gets you to that 8 card hand that you're looking for. And also it's a security effect where if you get hit in security and they run into this, you can play it for free and draw 2. So that's why we run 3 of them. You can run, 4, but I think that's a little bit too much. I think 2 or 3 is the good ratio there. So now we're into level 5s. For the level 5s, I have 4 of the Ulforceveedramon from the starter deck. He has jamming, so you can also swing with him. But the best part about this guy is the inheritable effect, where you can pretty much give him security attack +1 to your Ulforce, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to give him security attack +1 every time he swings, so you can take up potentially up to 4 securities from your opponent. So that's why we run 4. Okay, now we only run 2 of these Ulforceveedramon that give him jamming. These are the jamming ones, the one that you actually unsuspend one when you have a blue tamer. You can run 3 potentially and take away one of the starter deck ones. Depends on how you want to build it. If you want to focus more on jamming, then you can run more copies of this one. And for cheap evolution cost, we have 2 of the Manzamon, simply because he just costs 2. So you can pretty much turbo into your Ulforce whenever needed, in case you get in a tight spot. Alright, so now we got the main attackers of the deck. We are going to run 4 copies of the BT2 Ulforceveedramon. Now this Ulforce obviously is one of the older ones, where you unsuspend. Every time he unsuspends, you draw 1 card. Once per turn, you gain 1 memory. So that's the combo with the tamers. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it if you already played Ulforce before. So 4 copies. I think there's no need to explain more why you need 4 copies. 2 copies of the new one, which is the starter deck one. This guy is actually pretty solid, considering you can also return any blocker to the hand the moment you digivolve, and as long as you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you can unsuspend them and go for a second attack. So that's the combo that I'm talking about. Now you want to attack with this guy, and you want to have either the jamming Digimon, or these. You can either give him jamming or security attack +1, depending on the situation, right? So you either attack with security +1 twice, or you can attack with jamming twice, right? So that's basically the main combo. You only need 2 copies because he is kind of costly. He does cost 4, so that's why I only run 2 copies. You can bump it up to 3 if you want and take out one of these guys, which is fine. You can even take out one of these and add the Omnimon Blitz from BT5. So if you have a Blitz, go ahead and try it out. You know, I would highly encourage to test out a couple of variants to see which one would pretty much work best for you. But if I had the Blitz, I would definitely add it. Lastly, we have the option cards. We have 2 of the Hammer Spark, mainly because they are your memory gainers. They give you the option to gain memory whenever you're in a tight spot. The same thing goes for the blue memory boost. So the blue memory boost only includes 1 in the deck. But if you buy 2 copies of this, then I would encourage to take out Hammer Spark and add a second one of these. You can even bump it up to 3 if you have if you have the access to the card. I just don't have the access at the moment, so that's why I only have 1 at this time. If not, I would run 2 or 3 of the memory boost. Now we're going to move on to the tamers. We have 2 of the Soul and Joron. And mainly it's because this guy will have the ability to, once you suspend your tamer, you swing, you suspend, you take out 2 of the sources, and then you can unsuspend your Ulforce. And you run 3 of the promo time. And the main reason is because he is another draw engine. You can either suspend him to draw 1 or give him plus 1,000. You generally want to draw. You don't want to give him 1,000. It's not that important. The key is just to have at least 8 cards so you can start the combo there. So that's why you run 3. Same thing with Rena. That's why we run 3 copies. And she's the main tamer that's going to give 1000 every time your Ulforce swings. And you can unsuspend them. So suspend and then unsuspend your Ulforce. If you have multiple, you can do it multiple times, and that's where the multiple attacks come from. And lastly, we have 2 of the Davis. And I think this guy is a staple in most blue decks, mainly because he is the memory fixer. You will start with 3 memory as long as you have him, and you can search and add any blue Digimon the moment you play him. So that's pretty much the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions, let me know. Feel free to comment and like the video. Thank you for watching.